Hello everyone and welcome. If you are new here, my name is Louisa. I'm in my third year of studying medicine at the University of Cambridge. In this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about something that's been on my mind recently, and it's quite an important topic and it's basically a big mess. So I thought I'd come on here and explain it because it's just been on my mind, and I thought it'd be interesting for some of you to hear my views on it, and maybe if you're living through it, then to feel like you're not alone. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. If you are currently in your third year or even fourth year, or basically if you're a finalist at university, right now it's a very frustrating time to be you, because at the moment the UK is in a bit of a situation with strikes, and it's affecting pretty much everything. It's affecting train services, the healthcare service, and also education. So at university, the way this is kind of affecting us is that teachers have been, or lecturers have been striking across the year and last year as well, because they're not being paid enough, which is completely valid, and we are in a financial crisis right now in the UK, so very understandable. And what that previously was manifested as was striking from lectures and not giving lectures, not giving in-person teaching, and students having to then do their learning either online or just by self-directed study, which kind of was not that disruptive, and it kind of worked okay, and some lecturers were doing catch-up sessions, so that wasn't too impactful. And I think therefore the strikes weren't really achieving what they were setting out to achieve. And so it was announced earlier this year that the lecturers and striking members of staff would threaten to boycott from marking and examining papers basically in the summer. What that eventually would lead to would be a delay with graduation, and in our case here, that's what's happening, or potentially could happen. Not all of the staff are striking, but probably quite a lot of them will do, and they're basically saying that they're not going to mark our exams until potentially the 30th of September onwards, as I'm due to graduate on the 29th of June, and I need my results ideally on the 22nd of June, I think they said. What that means is I won't be able to graduate in June, and might have to wait until September, October, November. We don't really know. We don't really know if it means I can continue on to clinical school, and I had a quite frustrating email about that recently, saying that we're not sure what this means for whether or not third year medical students can continue into clinical school and go and actually start their placements. Obviously for first and second years, that means they don't know if they're going to have to resit their exams. If they do, they might not find out until September, which might mean they do resits in December on top of starting the next year of content. So it's quite stressful to be a uni student right now, not just a finalist. But obviously if you are a finalist and you're not a medic student or a vet or someone that's staying for another year, it's really difficult because you need to know what grade you've got, maybe to go and do a master's, to get your job. And usually the deadlines for that is sort of around June, July, because that's when we'd all get our degrees and we'd be graduating. So this is putting a delay to our graduation. The university issued a statement a couple of days ago saying that if you do get your grade in June, you can still graduate in June, but as none of us really know who that's going to be, we can't plan, we can't tell our families when to come. Some families have booked flights for international students. Ultimately, there's going to be a financial cost for a lot of families if they don't know when their kids are graduating and when to come to Cambridge. They might be booking flights they're not going to actually need, or cancelling them and paying a fee, and it's a very stressful and uncertain time for a student, and it's quite difficult to keep motivated to study and work for your exams when you don't know if you're going to be graduating at all. Not to mention, especially for third years and fourth years, we've had quite a rough 3 years at university. I started university in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. I could have taken a gap year, but ultimately I don't know if I would have enjoyed that. We couldn't have Freshers Week, we didn't matriculate with our year group. So for anyone that doesn't know, matriculation is basically where you get enrolled into the university, especially at Cambridge. It's quite a big deal, and we didn't get that, at least not until our second year. We had it delayed, and then we didn't matriculate properly as a year group. So that was a bit stressful and a bit sad. We only really got to see our year group in second year when we could actually socialise between households. So our first year was really quite affected by COVID, and we didn't have any in-person lectures or teaching, so as if almost like they were striking back then, except it was just because of COVID. And then in our second year, I still had my lectures online and was paying full price for my education. I still didn't get the full experience. And then in third year, we've had the financial crisis, which has affected teaching again. So I've just not really had the experience that have paid for, but it's really understandable, and I fully support the strikes, and the NHS is obviously going through a similar thing right now, and I really back everyone, and it's a really hard time to be living in the UK or just living as a person. Having spent 3 years here and put a lot of time and energy and work into it, and then to know you might not graduate, it's really frustrating, and I'm really sad for all my friends, especially those who are waiting to hear from master's applications or from job offers. Yeah, it's just a really hard time. Revising for exams is always really hard, but when you don't know what the outcome of your results is going to be, or whether or not you're even going to graduate with your friends, it is really frustrating. And the thought of us as a year group having been through so much and still not being through it, and like we're still suffering, it's so hard. Because if you came to Cambridge in 2016 to 2019, you would have had like a really normal experience, everything would have been fine, no financial, at least not the same financial struggles we're having now, no COVID, and yet they paid the same as us. But now it's more expensive to be at uni, and you don't get as much for your money. We've had lots of things cancelled this year, not just because of COVID, but because people simply haven't bought ticket, like for May balls and things, or well, not May balls, but in Lent term, the Medtop ball and various different things got cancelled or moved because it was too expensive to run them normally. So it's just been really hard, and I'm really sorry to everyone that's been affected by it. And my heart does go out to all of you, because it's a really hard time to be a student right now. It's a really hard time to be anyone right now, but especially as a student, I can definitely feel for people who are struggling, and I know I am as well, and it is really hard. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and basically say you're not alone in your struggles. Don't worry about how you're feeling if you're feeling really down. It's completely valid to feel that way, and if it's affecting your motivation or your work ethic, and that's really frustrating, I totally get it, and I feel that way too, and I'm kind of annoyed a bit at myself for not being able to just get over it and keep working. But it's really exhausting right now to kind of be here. So yeah, I feel for you, and you're not alone. Next video will be hopefully more of a happy one. I would like to film a vlog at some point, so I'll try and do another day in the life, and I've had a couple of other requests for things, so watch this space. But I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.